What's up, guys? I'm going to show you guys today how to dye the black plastics on your vehicle. If you notice, the plastics on my truck here are looking pretty haggard. This one in particular has not been coated at all, but however, I did coat this one as well as this one with a light coat. So I'm going to show you how to coat the plastics, what tools to use, how to prep it, and the whole 9 yards. So basically, like I said, I haven't done this one yet, and these two I put a light coat on it. So you can go with one coat or you can go two. If it's super faded, then I definitely recommend 2 coats. So a couple things to keep in mind. This product, basically, I'm sure you've heard of it, similar to brands like Mother's Back to Black. This particular brand is Technician's Choice T.C Black Fusion. So this is what we're going to be using today, and I'll show you all the products we're going to use. So T.C Black Fusion, I got a couple containers. This one's almost empty, so we'll try to get rid of that first. Set of gloves, I highly recommend those. This product's it's basically a vinyl dye. A couple rolls of tape, and I'll show you guys, basically we can do it with a roll of tape and without a roll of tape. So this is what we're going to use to apply it. This is a cheap and fast and easy way. You can use microfiber sponges or some sort of sponge to apply it, but I find these shop towels are nice and durable and they work, and it's kind of a way to cheat it. I'm going to use a couple rags, not only to clean the plastic but to basically level it after it's all done, and then 50% rubbing alcohol, 50-50 with water. So get straight into it. My buddy Mark here is going to show you guys. Well, he's going to film while I'm giving you guys the demo. So hope you guys enjoy. I'm going to throw my gloves on. Well, actually, before that, I'm going to mask one side off. So you don't necessarily have to mask this stuff off, but it's a good idea in some aspects. I'm careful with how I wipe the product on, and I'll show you that. But I'll mask basically one of these, and then the other ones I do it without masking it, and basically show you how it's all done. So I'm going to hand the phone off to Mark, and I'll show you how to prep the stuff. I'll show you how to apply it, show you how to mask it, and show you how to basically remove the excess. So hope you guys are having a good day and enjoy this video. All right. So we'll mask it right here. The 2 products I'm using, or the 2 pieces, are 1.5 inch tape, or I could use 3/4 inch. Obviously this is going to give you a little bit more of a barrier and a little bit more protection. This will turn a little bit better. I'll show you guys also how to mask something. So I'm right-handed, so I hold the roll in my right hand. I peel off a little piece with my left, and then I'll kind of start here. Oops. And then this is kind of more inexpensive tape. This is house masking tape. It's a Scotch brand. I usually use auto stuff, which is a little tougher, but there's some advantages to this. So I'm going to basically press with my left hand, and I'm going to hold the roll, if you notice, at almost a 45-degree angle. So I'm pressing with my left hand and I'm guiding with my right hand. And so basically you just want to tape it right underneath the plastic. And then I'll bring this over here. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect. And I'll grab a couple pieces here. And ideally you do want to tape in one direction. So I want to start here and come all the way over. That way when you unmask it, it'll peel it all right off. So that's one way. That's one way of doing it. You can either mask it, or I'll show you how to kind of be careful and freehand it. So the next step is we're going to prep it, and I'll put my gloves on real quick. It's a little harder to mask when you have gloves on, although you can do it. These are pretty heavy-duty gloves, and so here's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use a magic eraser, 50% rubbing alcohol, and 2 rags. This has already got a coat on it, so I don't necessarily need to do that. I might wipe over it real quick just to clean it, because I did it a few days ago. But what I do is I just shake the bottle up, which has already been shaken because we've been using this. But I spray it on there, and I basically use a dry rag and a wet rag, and then I will spray my magic eraser real quick. If you come in, Mark, I'm going to this is how I'm going to clean it. So I'm using the magic eraser and the alcohol to prep the product, or the black plastic piece here. And this will take off, as you notice, it'll take off all the contaminants. And this is important because you want a clean surface to apply the Technician's Choice vinyl dye. And they call it T.C Black Fusion, like I said before. So I'm scrubbing this like that, and you can see, I mean, it's stripping anything that's, any contaminant that's on there. If you were to just basically start wiping the product on, yeah, it's probably going to work, but it's not really going to bond. You know, you want to be nice and thorough, like anything in detailing. Be super thorough on how you do this. Well, that right there is about how I do it. You know, you'll usually wash the vehicle first. So this is going to come more towards the end of the detail. So I'll set my magic eraser backside down on the concrete. I'll give it a little bit more alcohol, lightly spraying it. I don't want it all over the place. If you notice, I'm being careful, and I'm not spraying it necessarily down here. I'm just kind of lightly shooting it here. That way, because I want to coat it quickly. If I spray the heck out of it and I get alcohol all over, it's going to take longer to dry. So I'm going to take my wet rag and I'm going to wipe that off. You can spray a little bit on your rag as well. That's the other way. I mean, you could just spray it on your rag without spraying it on the panel if you wanted, or just spray the microfiber or the magic eraser. So then I'll dry it. I want to be nice and thorough when I dry it. I don't want any leftover alcohol on here. So do want to fold your towels in fours. So there it is. You want to zoom in on that, Mark? I would consider that prepped. So it's nice and thorough, and it's ready for an application of the vinyl dye. Nice and clean. So I'm going to take, this is kind of saturated with alcohol. I'm going to do a light wipe. I don't want to wipe too much with the alcohol because the alcohol potentially could strip some of this Black Fusion, but technically shouldn't. But I'm just going to give this a light coat, or a light wipe, and yeah, we're going to move on to applying it. So the dry rag now is what we're going to use to remove the product. So I'll put that in my pocket. So it's very important. This stuff will tend to settle. So what I like to do is shake it up really well, because it's black, and if this bottle sits, the dye itself will separate, and so if you don't shake it up, it's not going to be mixed correctly, and you're going to bring more of the transport agent out when you go to pour it out of the bottle versus the actual dye. So I'll fold my rags in, basically right now I'll fold it in half again, and I'll actually fold it in half one more time, and then I'm going to use the corner of the rag here, and I'm just going to kind of drip the product on there. You definitely want to use gloves. I mean, you don't have to, but you know, it will stain things. So there you go. Put a liberal amount on there, and then you just come in here and start to apply. The beauty of these shop towels, they are fairly durable and they are super cheap. You could use a Bounty towel as well. The beauty of using these shop towels is, you know, they're cheap, and then they fit, they kind of maneuver around all the corners and whatnot, versus using like an applicator sponge. If you use an applicator sponge, they're a little big and cumbersome sometimes. You can use smaller ones, but what I like to do is I like to put a coat on here, and like I said, I'm pretty liberal. These bottles aren't super expensive. When I am coming around the corner, you know, on areas like right here, I obviously apply it to the one side of the rag, but the upper side really doesn't have any on it. So that's, you know, you kind of want to be cautious. If you do get it on your paint or anything else, you can use either a dry microfiber towel, or you could use a slightly damp one, and that's actually what Technician's Choice recommends. Is, say for example, you're doing a black plastic piece that sits up next to the paint, and you get some of the vinyl dye onto the paint, it will kind of almost stain it, but if you wipe it right away, Now if you notice, it'll take it off, but if you notice right here, the vinyl die is kind of coming out to here. So the tape's doing a good job of protecting the chrome. So I like to double coat these things, and that's why I coated both of these. So in this video I could show you what it's like to, or what it's going to look like to have 2 coats on it. So I feel like 1 coat kind of hydrates it and it generally absorbs it, and then the second coat will kind of rehydrate it and give you a good surface to it'll create a nice surface. So it's kind of what you're looking for, is 2 coats. So here I'll put my second coat on here. Now if you notice, well, I don't have tape obviously down here, so I have tape here but not down here. So I'm kind of using just the edge of it and being careful right there. So that's one way. If you want to cheat it a little bit, you just take your time when you're kind of going around these corners. So this will kind of show you what a second coat looks like. And you may even do a 3rd coat if you need to, but so once again, just kind of as I'm rounding these corners, I'll be careful. And then you can even fold it like this and kind of catch that edge. And so if you wanted to do something quickly without having to mask it, this is the way I would do it. I do like to let this stuff penetrate or permeate the plastic. So I'll usually give it, you know, a couple minutes or so between coats. So once again, just being careful on the edge right there. And that's pretty much about it. You can definitely see, if you notice, it looks way better. The plastics on this look terrible. So I'll give this a light wipe with my microfiber towel. So this is going to be a towel you're going to basically pitch when you're done. But this is the towel I use to dry the alcohol. So it really doesn't have any product on it at all. But this plastic was so dry that it just sucked up the product, and there's literally almost nothing on my rag, which normally it'll come off. There'll be some black residue, or quite a bit sometimes, but because this was so dry, it just literally sucked the product up. So right now, I'll go ahead and just give it a second coat. I'll probably need to crack the new bottle. I think we're done, but so the beauty of using this product versus more of like a dressing is it's actually going to last. So this product will actually last, you know, a good, I don't know, year at least is what they claim. So it's a great product, and it looks really factory. So I ran out basically, so this is all, we're toast here. I'll put the rest of it on here, but yeah, we're done. So so this is the final product. So you'll let that dry a little bit, and you can wipe off the excess. However, as dry as these plastics were, it pretty much sucked up all of it. So I'll let that dry for 2 minutes or so, and I'll just run over it with the microfiber towel. So we'll pretend like it's been 2 minutes for the video, and I'll lightly wipe it off. And then I'm going to take the tape, and like I said, if you do mask in one direction, you can peel the whole thing all up at once. That's what so when I laid the piece of tape here and then came back over here, if I would have started here, I could have unmasked it in one direction. But since I started here, I want to start removing it here. That way it pulls the whole thing all off at once. And there you go. And I'll wipe the edge of that chrome. And voila. So if you look at the shop towel rag, it's pretty much done. But these things are super cheap. this could last you quite a while, but it probably costs you maybe a nickel or 10 cents to apply this product, and that's the best way I've found. You can, like I said, use applicator sponge if you're doing a lot of this stuff, like say an avalanche or something with a ton of black plastic, then you may want to use an applicator. But anyway, hope you guys are having a great day and enjoying my videos. Comment if you like, subscribe if you like, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks.